Why, hello there, fellow scientists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Abiotic Factor, episode 18, creating a micro black hole exit. I didn't empty the B-side tram, I don't think, because I didn't have any inventory space for it. So as we're going back to trade for the repair pump parts, I am going to clear the B-side tram too, because I know the storage box in there had stuff in it. So radio pack, and armory, and magnum ammo. I didn't actually make the beekeeper suit to be able to harvest bees safely, but we could do that maybe once the pumps are done. What do you want me to do after this repair is done? I'm going to have you vote. So, story mission is go into the next zone or whatever. Improve the base, I'm going to say, is... I'm not really sure how to improve the base. Maybe build barricades and the like to help defend against attackers or tripwire mines or something. Shock traps. I'm not really sure. Improving gear. I'll build the beekeeper suit and then provide for needs. We can. Honestly, I don't even know. This is honestly the wrong tram. We're pretty far away from the blacksmith. Ooh, I shouldn't run that way. But whatever. I needed to get the B-side tram stuff anyway. It's good sprinting practice. I like how there's soldiers like everywhere and they're just like they're ignoring me. Trade. So, buying a diode for grease and a fiber optic cable for solder. Which is funny because he's like literally making solder right here. So it's like, dude, just reach out your window. You've got solder right there. We did just get a new idea, which is a healing briefcase. So, briefcase, wheat, solder, and a fiber optic cable allows you to have a reusable healing device which provides healing radius. Basically a mobile healing pad or something like that. Alright, let's go ahead and fix the broken pumps. And then, after we do the broken pumps, it looks like you guys want me to just continue to the story stuff. Works for me. Really?
Chaos. Your science destroys.
There. So yellow is done. And now we gotta do red. Come on, sneaking. There we go. Leveled up to 5. Now I can sneak faster. The purple glow. Don't notice the purple glow. Bye. Alright, the red pump is actually pretty close to where Frake is, so we're basically going back to Frake to repair it. It was up in her Frake cavern. And there it is. Replacement parts are done. The next step is to overload the synchrotron.
I know it sounds crazy, but if Frake says it'll work, well, I trust her. Just stand back when it all goes up, yeah?
So, overload the sync. Let's go do that. Which is to say, let's go make a miniature black hole to blow a hole in the building we're in so that we can escape. It's like, not strictly a good idea, but yeah. We're going to do it anyway. So this is the synchrotron. And we're going to blow it up.
Preliminary note on IS-091. At this point, details are inconclusive. We've dispatched a research team to Indonesia to gather field data, with a view to bringing in a trans recon unit and possible gatekeeper support for capture.
Flare sighted.
Come to that.
Don't get in a fist fight with me. Have you seen me? Dummy. Okay, we are in kind of a newer part of the facility here, where the synchrotron is. I think I'm trying to reach a point where, like, you might be familiar with the path. Yes, so you should be familiar here. I'll hit this check-in.
Check-in approved.
So this is the entryway from office sector to manufacturing west. And we are, if I, go here. We are standing right here. So we want to get over to synchrotron, which is over there, which is that way, I think. So synchrotron has a door here. Oh, well, I don't want to break my ankles. But we need to open the gate from the other side. So we were in this section of the facility already, so we just need to double back. You think more conventional bombs would be effective and safer? So I don't necessarily disagree with you, but like this facility was designed to be maybe bomb-proof. You can think of it that way. All right, here's Frake. But before we talk to Frake, so we originally we came in here, and I think it was Varsha, I think we were with.
I have to admit, you surprised me. I had to come and see this for myself. You gonna do the honors?
Yeah, let's do the honors.
Oh my god! There's your exit! Nothing a micro black hole couldn't take care of! Now you can get into labs. We'll follow soon. But I'm not leaving any of my team behind. You could be useful. Try not to get yourself killed.
You can call me the Holy Scientist. So, we have obviously opened up a way to the labs now, by making a, you know, by making use of a little black hole. You know, what's a little Hawking radiation between friends? Am I right? And here we are. It's also worth noting that, like, every time you open up a new zone, you also open up yourself to like, kind of like new horrors and terrors. So if you recall correctly, when I collapsed Flat Hill, we ended up getting the fog anomalies and like the fog monsters, the symphonists spilling through and like messing with us. So the reason I mention this is like to open up new zones, you definitely want to be ready for it. Because if you're not sufficiently prepared, yeah, things will go wrong pretty quickly, pretty fast. It's just a generalized warning about the game progression. That, like, I know it sounds obvious, but like you open up new areas, be prepared for new horrors. So have the best armor in the last zone, have good weapons in the last zone, you know, have good healing, etc., etc., etc.
Janet, you always say my science is out of control. This project is different. I feel more in control than I've ever been.
Are you sure about this, Abe?
Of course I'm sure, Janet.
Do you remember the pocket dimension? I remember the pocket dimension.
This is completely different. We're fighting fire with fire. Mance never let me try this, but if I can just bootstrap the neural array, I should be able to... Aha! Oh no. Janet!
Oh my god, it's loose.
Run, Janet!
Moron.
Unbelievable.
So, a pest teleporter. A fantastic device capable of converting resources into freshly teleported pests. Well done, scientists. You guys are geniuses.
This is Dr. Mance. If you had asked me 5 years ago what our chances of using the perforation system as a stable travel network were, I would have assumed I was talking to an imbecile. Today, such a network seems within our grasp. The T3 unit, or the dark lens they're calling it, has proven exceptionally successful. There are few places on Earth we cannot access under stable conditions. And finally, we can create those stable conditions. In theory. I would say our ambitions have extended far beyond their origins. Far beyond.
So the Electropest. All specimens of 173B should be kept in non-metallic environments at all times and must be kept fully electrically isolated using a container lined with non-conductive rubber padding. Observe all other containment provisions, noting that any interaction with the subject, even sedated, must be performed with all equipment fully electrically grounded. It is resistant to bullet damage and immune to electrical damage. Basically, that idiot just made a worse monster. Also, I wanted to note, before we go any further, we are in the Cascade Laboratories, so make it through the labs. And the other thing I wanted to point out is... where is it? Well, we'll get there. So this is something important here. See it, report it. Yeah. So here is a broken X-ray emitter.
Extraordinary.
Opening up the containment door. This, I think, just goes back down. So I mentioned the entity before, but I'll remind you. It's an entity that is usually invisible, and like only one person can see it. And that's what that sign's about. Reminder, this is the third time this quarter I found staff setting up containment incorrectly. I'm sure I don't have to emphasize how dangerous this is. Please make sure you are following the correct protocols for each and every new subject. There is no room for mistakes here. Ensure you are familiar with the procedure for the following tiers. Jura, unaccessible. Solotus, unattainable. Thela, extreme risk. Crucis, high risk. Known and controlled, and Ordo, benign. If you are so much as seeing these words on signs around you, you are in a place where knowing these by heart could potentially save your life, not to mention lives of those around you. Our safety, perhaps even the safety of the world, depends on your basic understanding of the system. Let's get it right, people. So, Jura, you know, this is the ranking system. Help. Hi, Petra. We haven't met yet, but I'm new here on the 91 project, and I want to check in something. I'm seeing 91 right now. Should I be reporting it? Hi, Kay. Just log in the daybook that you're its current target. That's all you need to do. Oh, great. Now I'm never going to relax. There's nothing to worry about. It's contained, and it will switch soon enough. Get rid of it. While visiting Cascade last week, I was given a tour of the primary containment chamber. Let me be very clear. Things like 51 or 513 should not be stored in any of our facilities. Let's talk to Keystone. If this doesn't change, I want it gone. I apologize for the discomfort caused by the presence of 513, but as a gate research director, I must remind you that we secure things for that exact reason, and your email that you're emailing me right now. We can't figure out what exact property is at play here, but you seem rather susceptible to its effects. In short, we all hate it, but we can't let that stop us from doing our job. I understand what you're saying, Derek, but there's something very wrong with the thing. I can just feel it. Frankly, I can still feel it. The effect should fade. Try to think about something else in the meantime. I forwarded you some of the trainee reference for breaking soft sea hazard links. It should fade quickly, given you're all the way in New York City. The hate-inducing table. So opening up the compendium. Exploring the facility, 013 with Amrish, even garish carvings and the flagrantly tasteless choice of materials. The subject is clearly created by a talentless craftsman with no natural aptitude for carpentry, resulting in arguably the world's single worst piece of furniture. Basically, it's a table which induces hate. Yeah. Nice. That's... what a weird object. Okay. And it's gone. That thing is horrifying. So, little spoiler, I'm going to be blue for the spoiler. That thing is invisible and can phase through walls and doors and nothing stops it. And it stalks you. And only its target can see it. And the only way to make it go away is to stare at it. And if you don't stare at it, it kills you. And if it, like, aggroes you, you're just dead. You're just dead. In multiplayer, only one player can see it. So it will target one person at random and just, like, stalk it to death. That's what that thing is. Yeah, it's a horrifying entity, and now I am its target. So yay! I get stalked to death. So that is Entity 91, which, if this is numerical, which it should be, is here-ish or somewhere. And this is the Layak Essence, which gives me the idea for pink paint and an X-ray tower. High-powered, stationary tower capable of turning away or suppressing X-ray sensitive entities. So that thing that I just saw was an X-ray sensitive entity.
IS-091 is the most intense AV candidate we've ever encountered. Despite its appearance, it's a transcorporeal entity of some kind, invulnerable to any of the physical deterrents we've tested so far. Walls, doors, shielding, they do nothing to impede it. Intriguingly, it only appears to a single viewer at one time. Dr. Stern has that dubious honor. He identified it in the field and it followed him back here. Began materializing in the facility, looking for him like a lost puppy.
Yeah, I don't like that entity at all. It's horrible. All right, so we have a security cart that we could hotwire with a hotwire kit. If you're wondering, I do not know what a hotwire kit is yet. And we are in the Cascade labs. Let's do a safety check-in, setting a spawn point here.
Approved.
So we've got the wildlife pens this way, which, if that sounds terrible to you, it should. And the particle lab, and C-blocks, and adjustment. Before going any further, yep, rip you. Let's double back and fully explore this room. And because we're in a new zone, make sure we're not passing up on any resources yet unknown to us, which so far not the case. Don't need to worry about him. He's a little dead already, as is him. These guys are, of course, you know, the terrorists in the terrorist faction. So, don't feel really bad about them being dead. I don't need to poo. I am hungry, though. Let's eat an MRE. And then also, this is emitting extreme radiation. In fact, extreme enough that, like, I might want to prophylactically take iodine tablets. Because iodine tablets reduce your... Oh, God, I shouldn't jump there. Reduce your incoming radiation, which, I mean, it is extreme, so let's not eat it, not drink it. Keep wearing our suit. Okay, I would say this room is mostly explored, or at least we took a glance around. I was actually pretty low on rebar, too. I should start picking the rebar back up. All right, so we're trying to find a way through the lab sector. And... we see an NPC over there due to our employee locator. And we know we are, at the moment, being stalked. Okay, so that double backs. We're being stalked by Entity 91. The map here is like a little load chunky, so if you're wondering if the stream is hiccuping, yes, but also the game is hiccuping. And here we are, formerly in the Cascade Laboratory. So the wildlife pens are that way, and we've got the containment block for security over here. And we have containment cells.
You look familiar. Oh, it's you. I came through the hole some maniac blasted in manufacturing.
That was me!
Obviously, I was planning on getting through the vacuum chamber to the surface elevator, but it's covered in some muck. Typical. I suppose they'll have something to deal with that in the containment block, but the place is completely locked down. Ugh, it never ends. I really need a coffee.
Okay, so he just taught me the recipe for Keypad Hacker 3. Brain sync. So Brain Sync syncs up, in multiplayer, syncs up the compendium between people. Memory brick. Purpose-made data housing used for crafting electronics that require memory. And the keypad hacker requires the tier 2 keypad hacker, something called quantum glass that I don't know how to make, and a memory brick with military electronics, fans, a jailbroken CPU, which I don't know what that is, and a projection matrix, don't know what that is. So the keypad hacker is well outside of our ability to craft at the moment. So he tried to go through there, and he said some muck was blocking him, which, yeah, I can see that from here. What's our radiation at? Oh, it's not that bad. So let's look through these cells. See what's going on here. A lot of them empty, which is probably a really bad sign. This is the creeping crystal. So here's the LAAC, which is 0091 is to be subject at all times in an electromagnetic field with photon energies ranging from 100 eV to 100 keV. Roughly, I'm just making sure I'm looking around. Where was I? Anyone viewing or perceiving it under any conditions should stare directly at the creature until it vanishes and then report the encounter immediately to security staff. The entity is weak against X-ray field damage. So it has one known weakness, but as we heard on the hologram, it like phases through doors, walls, etc. It like can't be stopped. X-ray is its only weakness. So, yeah, that's comfortable because I have no X-ray weapons. So this is keypad 3, so I can't get through here. And the office sector is back this way in this mess of things. And here is here's the two idiots that like to experiment with electropests.
Oh, Janet got us back into labs, and we had a plan, although it didn't quite work out. Now, we've got a new plan. But first, we need to get into the containment block and access our equipment.
But, wouldn't you know it, they've revoked our security clearance, because who needs it during an emergency? I suppose we could head back to Office Sector, down that way, and hope Warren's got a plan to save us. But that's about as likely as Thule winning a Nobel Prize. We've got to find some other way into the containment block, or this is the end of the road.
So you remember the, like, containment levels? So here's the creeping crystal. 94 must be connected to a dedicated harvesting system managed by a regularly serviced control system. This system has all the peripherals, must be connected to a fail-safe backup power. In the event of extended electrical failure, 91 is to be incinerated after no more than 36 hours. So it's a crystal that just keeps growing. So remember the like whole safety levels? Why does this thing read Jura? Let's shake it. And then slowly back away. I'll probably need more circuit boards. Oh, we're losing power.
The self-painted variants of IS-184 are truly intriguing specimens. These priests or monks show clear indication of tool-making and ritualistic behavior. It seems to have formed a rudimentary civilization in one of the Antiverse 2 locations we've accessed.
Not you again.
This raises intriguing research questions, as well as some ethical implications, I suppose. Though I'd note that these haven't stopped us previously.
Where were the tiers? I'm looking through the old emails. Is it at the bottom? Jura, unaccessible. Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from that. So we've got the office up this way. I don't have a map, which would be really handy to have, so we should go try to find a map while I'm here. Is there a ladder? Yeah, okay, there's a ladder there.
As we dispatch our TR teams to further regions of Antiverse 2, they return with new specimens, most of them variations of a few basic forms. When introduced to the gate facility, these organisms continue to evolve rapidly, acquiring new behaviors. It is my theory that the entropy delta is responsible. How far this evolution will extend remains to be seen.
What seems to be... Oh! Seems to be a souped up security bot. And we got... and a capacitor from the Electropest. A lab gas mask. This is another hazardous material suit. I probably should take the suit because a beekeeper, the beekeeper suit requires one of those. We want to make one of those at some point. And I'm trying to like low-key avoid the security robot that is patrolling, because I don't really want to get in a fight with it. Alright, we already have one lab mask, probably don't need two. And this requires Tier 3... I can't open that.
This is Dr. Lenora Riggs, Trans-Recon 2 Primary. We have arrived safely in 168. Preliminary stellar comparisons suggest Earth, or a potential analog, akin to 23 in the others. No contact planned with the inhabitants, as yet. We will continue to monitor them as we search for the signal source. Dr. Kesey is confident that it is close by. This will be my last broadcast before the perforation closes, and we will initiate the return within 72 hours. Dr. Riggs, out.
Got it. I passed the map.
I believe I need to, defecate.
They're a little bit tougher in this neck of the woods. But I didn't know you could breakdance like that way. He's pretty good at it. Alright, what are we dropping for stuff? Oh, I don't need a big stack of bandages. So thank you for the buckshot. Yeah. So he messed me right up. Luckily, I'm wearing Forge armor, which is a little bit resistant. And we didn't have any active bleeds. We also passed a computer, because the hologram was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt it. Which is here. Optical components. Last Wednesday, I needed to substitute an optical component, so I borrowed one from the AV Gems they're studying in the adjustment wing. Someone who I won't name suggested that I get liquid crystal from one of those broken CRT monitors they use in the labs, and it worked. Until Moyer heard about it, and it got worked up. He said I was misusing company property, or some nonsense like that. The guy's paranoid. He'd be furious if he knew how much jerry-rigged stuff keeps his AC running down here. Just looking around real quick. Oh, more iodine up there. No! You stay the hell away! Piss off, freak. Thank you. That's why I was looking around. So here's the projector he was talking about. With the crystals. Which I believe is one of the components I needed. And... it happened again. James, it happened again. The intake got clogged on the 94 processor, and it just stopped. I checked in the morning, and the cell was knee-deep in crystals. We've got to make sure this doesn't happen again. That was the expanding crystal thing. I hear you. I'll put Dayton on it. He had some ideas about improving the failsafes. Thanks. Can you make it quick? I did some rough calcs. If this happens again, we won't notice for more than 36 hours, and the facility is going to have serious problems. It will breach other cells. Roger. I'll check in with Wakeman. 2. No idea what he's got, what he's doing with the stuff, but I'll tell him to expect a plus-size load this afternoon. We'll beef up monitoring too. So here's the crystal overrunning the cell. Who's on 60? There's a project I've only recently become aware of. It's been assigned as IS-60, but I can't find any record of who started working on it or who's responsible for it now. None of the people named seem to have ever worked at any gate facility I'm aware of, yet paperwork continues to appear. Who is P. Libwell? Their name comes up a lot on the paperwork. I looked into it, and honestly, I'm baffled. It's impossible to know what is being talked about in the paperwork. Who wrote this? It wouldn't be surprised to discover this was something to do with Shadowgate. Gatekeeper accountability is a joke. I thought about that, but it doesn't add up. Gatekeeper reports don't sound like this, and those aren't any Gatekeeper staff we have on record. Are we sure none of your staff are working on this? I'm certain none of my team are working on this. I can't even find a record of who filed it as IS-60. I'm sure we'd both remember signing off on that designation. I suggest we don't tell anyone until we understand this more. Bring it to the next exec committee meet. Agreed, this is another prank by the accounting department. I will raise hell. And my fellow, I will be right behind you in the breach. This is IS-60, which is the Sector 13 project. All paperwork from IS-60 refer to Sector 13 is to be filed in a filing cabinet in the 60 cell of the Curie wing, and the security report must be filed stating the full name and employee ID of the person who has recovered the documents when they become aware of the documents and where the documents were found. Okay. I need a toilet. Well, there's a soldier over there. Does the game get paused when you're reading the lore?
Yeah.
No. I definitely want those new gloves, so I'm going to drop the backpack for it. Or maybe the magnum ammo. So containment gloves. I am getting tired, so let's get some coffee. And speaking of which, cheers. Well, if I needed to poop, drinking coffee is not going to make that any better. So let's find a toilet. So the C blocks are that way. Containment blocks, and so would be the office sector.
Subjects
rated sync are largely understood and low risk, while those designated crucious require caution and further research. Phala subjects present a high risk of unassessed phenomenon or effects, and should be treated accordingly. A Jura rating indicates an entity, item, or specimen that exceeds our
This
current
may
understanding
get
entirely.
awkward.
While Salutis subjects, dangerous or otherwise, may simply not be containable.
Toilets. Also right next to a security bot, but luckily it's not. Oh, yep, nope, I was wrong. Yep, you can shock me. That's okay. Time for brown time. Come on, robot, just let me take crap in peace, please. Nope, nope. Definitely not here. Definitely not here. Okay, so that robot, did something terrible to the electropest.
Where are they hiding the evil?
I don't feel great about being around it. Stay away from that thing. We've got a broken tram that requires a tram override key. Which, is that the same key I had before? Let's check. No, I had the tram station key. So this is something novel. And the game wants me to access the inner wings, but I'm definitely in a situation right now where... Ow! Jesus! Where I want to go back to the base and turn in for a bit, because I'm just full up. Also, I never discovered all the new stuff. So there's the electro thrower. Supercharged electricity throwing short-range cannon. There's the electron grenade. Electrifying grenade that sends crystalline shards in all directions and stuns enemies. The hotwire kit for the security cart. Drive around the security cart. And then also the plug board. Allows connecting with even more devices into a single power socket. Can be mounted on almost any surface. I think that's all of them now? There's more electropests in there. Probably don't need too many more briefcases. Jesus. Startle me much? These things hurt. Why'd you invent such monstrosities? Are these the other monitors? I could never identify them well. Yes, this is the one with the liquid crystals. Okay, rebar or liquid crystal. Seems to be a good trade. Wearing all vinyl, does that make a difference? You know, I'm not certain. Maybe it does, but I mean, I'm not about... Oh, that's not one of the liquid crystals. I'm not about to strip for it. There we go. still a little hurt, so I don't want to get into too many fights until I've recovered a bit more. Also, don't want to just, like, sit here and do nothing. What was what sound? Don't scare me like that. Thank you for tuning in to Abiotic Factor, which originally streamed live as a marathon on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I won't be answering anything that would be considered a spoiler. I am also not looking for feedback. This streamed one time only as a marathon. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow scientists, security guards, and summer interns.